Hey, welcome to the 40 Finance channel. Today we're talking about the Trade Desk stock as a potential beaten down stock to look into, try to find a good entry point. I think fundamentally the Trade Desk still has a lot of growth ahead of it, but it is in a pain point right now. So I'll give you my greedy price target, if you will. But first, we're going to do a quick stock analysis, look at why this one is down, what the fundamentals tell us, and then try to use those metrics to identify a good price to get in this one, either for let's just call it a long-term swing trade, or perhaps you just ride it out for the next 3 to 5 years as a long-term investor. Now, as we go through this, of course, we'll be using SeekingAlpha Premium for all of our data points and analysis. Now, if you're interested in learning more about this stock research platform that I use all the time, check out the link in the description. You get a 7-day free trial as well as $30 off your first year. All right, let's jump right in here on the Trade Desk. Year to date, this one is down almost 39% off the heels of a disappointing earnings call. And when we look at the momentum for this one, all of the momentum indicators, just to give you an idea of how far this has come down, if you take the 50-day simple moving average, you're down 39%, and you're down 33% on the 200-day, and you're not quite in death cross territory. You see the purple line and I guess the maroon line. You haven't quite reached the death cross yet, but it's definitely taken a major tumble. Now, in terms of why this all happened, I found a pretty good analysis here by a SeekingAlpha author. In Q4, the Trade Desk revenue actually grew 22% year over year to $741 million, but that is a miss of $18.5 million versus the consensus. But more importantly, the Trade Desk also missed its own guidance of at least $756 million. For the first time since its IPO 33 quarters ago, the Trade Desk missed its own guidance by about 2%. Normally, the company beats consensus by 2% on average. This time, it missed by almost 3%. Now, on the EPS side, though, the non-GAAP came in at 59 cents, beating estimates by 2 cents. This shows the Trade Desk has leveraging power. Even with a revenue miss, the company can squeeze out more earnings. And the company also issued another $1 billion for the stock repurchase plan. So the big headline there, of course, was the first miss after 33 quarters. But let's take a look at the growth for this company, because that's where it all settles out when you're talking about a stock like the Trade Desk. Revenue growth forward, 21% looking ahead through this fiscal year. That is down, though, from their 5-year average of 28%. So revenue growth does appear to be slowing, but it is still a net positive by a significant margin. Then if we get down to EPS diluted growth, since they've been reporting a lot in non-GAAP, you have 49% growing on the bottom line. That part is actually higher than the 5-year average of a 35% growth. Now let's take a look at the projections for this fiscal year. December 2025, EPS consensus estimate is $1.80. That gets down to single-digit growth if they actually do hit this number. And that gives you a current forward PE of 40. The next fiscal year does look brighter, at least from early consensus. You could see upwards of 20% growth on the EPS line next year if the consensus trend holds. Now, on the revenue side, this year, projection about an 18% growth. Next year, about 20%. So what I like to see here, at least on Trade Desk, is if you take out this EPS growth for the current fiscal year, which is under double digits, everything else remains projected over double digits on both the top and bottom line. Next, I just typed up my thoughts here on this simple Google Doc. So with Trade Desk, the percentage growth versus the 5-year. You have revenue growth minus 24% versus their 5-year average, but you have EPS growth plus 50% versus their 5-year average. Price today, $70.75 at a forward PE of 40. Now, for me, as far as targets, I would be looking for a forward PE more in line with a 35. And assuming that EPS remains consistent on the consensus side, that would give you a price of $63. So today you're at 71, 72, depending on how the price fluctuates. I would feel pretty good about this one at $63 or below if the opportunity comes about this year. All right, guys, so that's an overview of Trade Desk stock and my greedy price target for this one. Let me know what your stock price target is for Trade Desk and what you think of the stock in general going forward. Before you go, don't forget to check out that special offer for Seeking Alpha Premium down below. I hope everyone's doing well. We'll see you on the next video.